Hi, Don from RPM Steering here. How you guys doing? Today we want to talk about Jamb Nuts. And in 2023, when we introduced our new forgings, we brought the Jeep Jamb Nuts to a wider Jamb Nut. We E-coated them and improved the strength that they bind with, which hasn't been an issue on the Jeeps. We've had a really good run with these. So we're not changing the Jeeps at the moment. We still use our Belleville washer, which we've always used, a spring Belleville, which is serrated on both sides, that pressure locks the Jamb Nut on the Jeep application. But now we're getting into big truck stuff. So now we're getting into Ford steering for F-250, 350. We're getting into Ram steering for the 2500s and 3500s. And what we deal with the diesels is a whole lot different. We get a lot of chassis vibration in a diesel, so you're going to see a lot of vibration on a Jamb Nut in a diesel application. So we went back to the drawing board and we came up with a two-piece Jamb Nut system that is going to help us in this application where some of our competitors are really having challenges keeping Jamb Nuts tight, and we're going to be able to keep them tight in this application. What we've done is we've got a two-piece Jamb Nut here, and you can see this Jamb Nut here has a tapered sleeve on it that's slotted so that it can be crushed down onto the threads. And then the secondary Jamb Nut is already tapered internally, and that becomes the pressure onto this Jamb Nut. And the way these work, as this gets tightened down, it's squeezing these threads down to the tubing on the threads. We're going to show you right here real quick on one of these ends. This is a Ford end here, and this is our new black feature that we're going to be offering in the Ford and the Dodge product. We have our Belleville washer that sets against the aluminum. Then we spin this one down, and we're going to torque this to torque spec before we tighten the final tighten on this Jamb Nut. You can see here the sleeve on there, and then when we go over the sleeve with this, and then we torque that down, it's going to pinch down on that sleeve. You're still going to have a little slot between the two Jamb Nuts because they won't come completely touching, but as you tighten that down, it pinches this Jamb Nut down to the threads, which is going to give you a posi lock on your Jamb Nuts. You're not going to have any loosening or rolling of the Jamb Nuts like you do on a typical Jamb Nut application. No additional sleeves or anything required to do this. This is going to be a super easy application. We've been testing it out already and we've had great luck with it. So see our new products at rpmsteering.com.